I know we're in quad 4 and energies are short, but it has to be rifle shot opportunities. Maybe the way that you could answer it is, if you don't have to own energy, would you?
No. If I don't have to own anything, I don't.
Right, exactly.
I mean, it's kind of like, I'm looking at you now, so I'm thinking of things we do together.
Yeah.
It's like drinking. Like we don't, I don't like whiskey. So if you tell me you have whiskey and you have vodka, and it's Tito's especially, I'm going to drink vodka. I don't have to drink all different kinds all the time. Wall Street, though, you got to buy stocks. Yeah. Whiskey all the time. All the time, whiskey, vodka, just get rate bombed. Miss every single opportunity to sell high and freak out low. Yeah, that's going to be, it's going to be your maybe you should be drinking.
Yeah, and then maybe to follow up on that, I mean, you guys obviously with quad 3 last quarter, or this quarter actually, and you guys were on the road quite a bit talking energy. I mean, what's just the general response from the investment community? Maybe the generalist community would be a better kind of gauge of where the sentiment lies.
Well, energy has been a train wreck going back multiple years, and most importantly, if you go back to the quads. Mm-hmm. So the number one quadrant that you buy energy is in quad 3. So go to the guys, if you can go to the bongo, or not the bongo, slide 39 in the macro deck, and you'll see that there's really been no catalyst to stay long and strong energy, which would be a steady setup of consistent quad 3s. Now, I am looking forward to the potential for that, especially if you think that this is the first of many interest rate cuts and continued economic slowing in the U.S. and an earnings recession, which is what we think. But again, you really only had one trade here, Al. If you think about it just plainly in quads as opposed to what everybody else in oil and gas space thinks. I mean, quads 1 and 2, this is mostly why people don't believe it, because that for that whole time, which is called 2 full years, energy sucked relative and absolute. It did do well here when it front ran that for a little bit, from February basically or January to April.
Right.
So the market discounted the quad 3. I think it's going to get quad 4 again, and then oil and energy will be the place we look for longs again, but from a very different price. So again, the main reason why I don't think people like it is because the macro conditions haven't supported it.
Right. Yeah, I think that's a good way to think about it. And from a high level, I guess the way that Jesse and we think about energy, I mean, if you have to own it, we like things with good balance sheets. Which is pretty obvious. I think everything is cheap and everything appears to be cheap on a relative and absolute basis. But I think as you think about what the next catalyst is, it's got to be commodity price reinflation. I mean, if you think about the whole universe and we're out there talking to people, I have a hard time engaging with people on something that they really can sink their teeth into. Some idiosyncratic issue within a company where they think it's just completely mispriced because of X, Y, and Z. They're just waiting for commodity price reinflation or just hedging their book based on, or hedging out the commodity price risk. So, on the E&P side and midstream side, companies with good balance sheets, sustainable free cash flow, I think that's pretty self-explanatory if you have to own it, which is the key if.
And if you don't, which it should be just lining up the ducks and get ready for your quad 4 summer. Again, people are like, well, the market doesn't look like quad 4 today. I'm like, no shit, Sherlock. It looked like quad 4 through most of May, and it bounced because the Fed just told you they're going to cut interest rates, which is basically people hoping quad 3 happens right away. Our nowcast, which called both of those things, is that the Fed would have to react dovishly, is that we have to go through the path of quad 4 first. So again, that's just doesn't have to trade that way every single day. The long side of the book did, by the way, treasuries, UTs, REITs, et cetera. And energy has underperformed. So I think that's if anything, I think in your world, you're actually going to have the highest quality balance sheet you're going to ever see, at least not ever, but at least since 2016 when everybody got levered up for your names. I mean, it is actually a higher grade base of balance sheets and credits relative to the 2015 levels.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've had a lot of companies go through Chapter 22.
Yep.
Chapter 11 times 2.